Alright guys, hi, it's Tony back for another unboxing. It's been a while since we've done an unboxing, so this is going to be as interesting for me as it is for you guys, and I'm not looking forward to the editing process on this one, that's for sure. But it's not about that, it's about this, the NCR nicotine reinforcer. Yeah, we saw it come up recently for purchase on the old interwebs and decided to give it a try. It looks fairly interesting as a concept. So before we take you around the box, let's run through a few things that piqued our interest with it. Obviously that wafer design, the material is SST aluminium nitride, which sounds kind of funky. Dimensions for it are 24mm in diameter and 40mm in height, and that's including the 510 thread. The resistance for the wafer, they're saying reads anywhere from 0.4 to 0.5 ohms, and it's got a white cap on the outside, which is nice. They say white, it's more of opaque. The bit that actually piqued our interest was the 60,000 life cycle, 60,000 use life cycle of the wafer, which is interesting. And after a quick and dirty calculation, I worked that out to be roughly anywhere between 4 and 6 months worth of use. Now whether that's actually the whole life of the wafer and then you've got to replace it, or whether that's the first time that you've got to clean the fucking thing off, I think it's the actual whole life cycle of it. So it's pretty much when you detect that your juice is maybe not tasting as fresh as it should, that's when you've got to effectively take it apart and do a clean on it, which is apparently just pulsing it at about 30 to 40 watts for a few seconds, and that cleans off all the gunk, and then you re-wick it, and then you're good to go again on your 4 to 6 months use out of that wafer, which is well, if it turns out to be true, that's going to be blinding, but it depends what sort of a vape this thing gives. As a concept, it's a great idea to have that sort of level of use out of a product like this for that extended amount of use, even if it isn't hitting the mark for you yourself, is a brilliant proof of concept that it can be done, and produce better wafers that to suit more people in the marketplace. But anyway, enough waffling, enough wafering. Let's take a tour around the box. It's a fairly fucking plain grey box, to be honest with you. Got a picture on the front, nicotine reinforcement. Are we focused? We are not focused. There we go. Take the bare necessities. I have no clue. Answers on a postcard. Same there. I want to get this open, but it's actually really fucking tightly closed. Let's go at the bottom end. Gotcha, you fuck. Bastard. Okay, that's all out. Okay, so in the box we obviously have our NCR, which is in this funky little white cube. We'll have a look at that in a second. We have a bunch of bits. Plastic seal, silicone seal, what looks to be grub screws. I don't know what that is. That's the clip that goes over the top, maybe. And an Allen key. A wordy thing. We've got a user manual. Alright, not too bad. It's Chinese one side, English the other. Okay, so in the user manual for it, it will tell you what the main features are, what the contents of the box are, tips for optional parts, how to use it, which is pretty much setting up for the first time, warranty, cautions and warnings. Like I said, the other side is all Japanese, so Japanese? Where did that come from? It's all Chinese on the other side, and that's about it. So this is going well for an unboxing so far. We're getting right to the meaty stuff. Okay, it's a weird sticky sort of thing going on there. Pop him out, chuck that to one side, and there it is. Don't focus on me fucking finger, you bastard. It's very light and very plasticky. The bell cap is plastic. But that's pretty much the deal right there. Looking inside, it's very clean. I can't see any sort of problems with it that I have had in the past. Some funky detail going on in the bottom there. I think that's picking it up. I don't know whether that's part of the CNC manufacturing process or whether that's actually a specific design. Seals in abundance everywhere. We're double sealed here at the side, and also round this covering we have a single seal round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Right, so like we always do, I'm just going to give it a quick clean out and I'll be back in a second. Okay, here we are back. Just giving it a quick clean up. Like we always say, we don't know where it's come from, what it's been through before it gets to us. So for your own peace of mind, always just give it a quick clean up yourself. At least that way you can be sure that you've done everything you can. Going back to our little parts baggie, it turns out that this weird bit of plastic is what looks to be some sort of heat dissipation that sits on the bottom between your mod and your RDA. Probably just to protect the mod from any heat, but really at 0.4, 0.5, I can't see it being that bad. If they're including it though, they've got a reason to include it, so you might as well use it. I know I've definitely run a hell of a lot hotter than anything that this can produce, but there you go. And the other thing is this, you actually get two of these little clip things that go on top of your wafer. So this little clip thing just goes over the top like that. I thought you'd actually have to put your cotton in there first and clip that over the top. That kind of makes more sense in my head, but this the clip is specifically produced just to go straight over the top of the wafer. I thought it was just sort of like to keep the cotton down, but nope, apparently not. So there we go. You got your protective plastic underneath around the 510 protecting your mod, and wafer on top. Then all that's left to do is to cut some Muji. I don't usually use Muji, I use some of that other stuff, but can't actually be bothered to faff about with that, so I managed to pull out sort of a sheet of Muji, just cut a strip off of it about the width of the wafer, and then apparently you just sort of dunk it over the top. If you've got big fucking fat fingers like I have, get a pair of tweezers, chuck it down in there. There's not a whole lot of information about how much should be in the bottom, so I'm pretty much just chucking it over, equal sides. Now the Muji is going to sort of like want to sit up in its normal sort of flat state and not be curved like that. So the way we get around that, wet it down a bit. If you juice it up first, it will make it more pliable. So once you've got a healthy sort of coating of juice around it, just manipulate it a bit more, just so it sits down in there nicely. And on camera would be good. Just manipulate it down so that it sits flush. It's kind of where we want to be with that. Then you get your magic little, I don't even know what the fuck you'd call that, but that thing, and chuck it over the top. Push down until, yeah, it stops. I was waiting for some sort of satisfying click there, but it didn't happen. And now that's pretty well juiced up. What I did forget to say in the, or at least show you in while I was taking it apart, is the bell cap here. Come on, focus. There we go. Is all your air holes. They've chucked a load of air holes around this, and then that just sits on there like that. Okay, I've got it at 50 watt now. I think it says between 40 and 50 watt. Alright, so here's the thing with the wafer system. Because of the way that it's designed, that heating function won't hit straight away if you're around the 40 to 50 watt, which is why they say themselves that if you've got a mod that's able to do sort of like buck and boost, or you know, you can select which heating profile you want, you're actually able to manipulate the heating profile. They say chuck it up to 70 watt for the first half a second to second, so that it heats up that wafer plate really quickly, and then after that second then drop it down to the 40-50 watt range, wherever you're sort of happiest with it to function at, and keep it up right. There we go, you can tell I'm a tank user. And then for the remainder of the hit, it will then be at that 40 to 50 watts. So because you've already preheated the wafer up, so it's already at optimum, you know, heating range straight away, and then for the rest of it, it will hit normally. That's obviously some fucking about that I've got to do here. It's reading 0.59, which is a little high, but that could very well settle down over time. I've chucked it up to 60 watt just because I'm not about to fuck about with the profile on here just yet, because it's going to be fucking a while to get it heating properly. What I will say straight off the bat is that I'm not a fan of Muji anymore. That's given me quite a distinct taste. Now the reason I've chucked it up to 60 is just, like I said, I can't be bothered to fuck about with the heating profile on here. So putting it up at that 60, the first hit is going to be shit, but then with the wafer already heated up, further hits in quick succession aren't too bad. You do get a particular whistle out of this thing. Yeah, if you get your suck just in the right place, it's definitely got the old dog whistle sort of thing going on, which is a bit shit. The other thing I'm a bit disappointed about is no adjustable airflow. It would have been good if this ring was adjustable, so you could manipulate where you wanted airflow to be, because as it stands, you've got airflow at 4 points on this, so you can't reduce it, you can't increase it, there's nothing. It's all just pre-drilled in the cap, so you're stuck with what they're giving you, which is a bit crap if after getting it you find out, well, I'm not a fan of either how tight or how loose that drawer is. I suppose with it only being plastic, you could drill it out yourself or chuck some tape around it, but who wants to fucking do that? Is it going to be a fad? Is it going to be the next big thing? I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to wait for the review. Alright guys, I think we've gone through everything. I can't think of anything else to say or waffle at you. Waffle, get it? No, it's a wafer. Damn it. Fuck. Shit. Alright guys, I can't think of anything else to waffle about for this thing. If you've got it, let us know what your thoughts are on it. We're always interested to hear from you guys. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you for the full review of the NCR. See now, can we get this apart? Nope. Ow. Give me something. Maintain eye contact.